The studio is a studio. It's different from you. You are different from the studio, right? So if you don't do like that, you will not be able to raise your price for the portraiture in such a way that if you take out money to pay for the usage of the space, which will now take care of the utilities of the space and maybe salary of the person that cleans the place and all of that, you don't take money from the wedding business to go and do this. Does that make sense? So set it up first as this is your studio for your portrait and pre-wedding, all those kind of stuff. Where, but then again, remarket the studio space. So the content is around when you guys photograph, you make a content. When you guys come in, you make a content. The content will be around how the space look, the facilities in the space, the pictures that comes out of the space, the things that the space is unique to other spaces. Because I don't like those carved walls. Everybody has those. Is it Greek inspired stuff? Yeah.
I hate those things. My space doesn't even necessarily look like that.
Yeah. So you need to now sell what makes that space special. You are photographed there, so you use the images from the space. So it's like you do a collaboration post with the space. So create a handle for the space. Yeah. So when you photograph, it's with the handle. Your location where you photograph rentals from. Do you get me? So it's a standalone thing. So nobody can just say, hey, Bukola, what's up? Now can I come and use your space? It's not your space, it's a studio space that you also rent out to. So if you want to use it, you rent so that nobody can go and say, okay, please, can I just use your place and show you get. So optimize it that way so that the person that is supposed to run that studio is supposed to be someone who understands how content works. Today, hi, good morning. My name is this, and welcome to this space, right? A few things I will tell you about our space: how to book, what we offer you when you come, the kind of pictures that you get out of it, the kind of spaces that we have around, and the facilities like the equipment. Are they coming with their equipment like the lighting, like the backdrop, or does the studio have that? Does our rental fee cover it? So all of those kind of questions are things you need to talk about. And then using that to promote you. Now, do you know that Brown Art photographs here? Not that you own there. You photograph there so that there are photographers that look up to you and the kind of work you create. So when they know that you are creating that kind of work in this space, it is easier for them to now want to come to that space. Because most of the time, it's not necessarily what you're creating or the space, the content that you have at the space. It's the person that they look up to using the space. So you can just start and look out for friends and say, can you come and shoot in the space for a while? So you record the content and share, this guy shot here, this person shot here. And then from one shoot, you can have like 4 or 5 contents from the person. One just showing the person setting up, another one just saying the person doing this, another one feedback from the person. Oh, I really love the space, it's this and that. So the content house generates content for itself. And then when the person now posts, you can now ask for the pictures. Can we post on our own page too? It was done here, that kind of stuff. Yeah. It's going to be you, the studio, leveraging your own star power. Because there's something you tell me, there are a lot of people that want to shoot like you should. So you need to leverage that star power. You need to elevate yourself so that it rubs off on the space. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. That's the way to do it. Don't think about, okay, I need to set up this one and this one will now be. If you want only people to come and rent to you, you might not make money. But you need to set it up in a place that it is on its own, but you know the actual job of that place is for you. But you now use your own reputation to rub off and the reputation of some of the people that you know intentionally pick out that they are the ones that can actually have clout. So you just invite them to come and they shoot. Okay, you can say, oh, we have a space where you can even shoot, and they did. You stay for a while, we give you internet connection. Do you understand? I still believe that a studio should have an editing suite. That's what I believe. So that if I finish photographing, I can just sit up on your system load it up, copy my cards, use your Photoshop, your Evoto, whatever software, finish my work, pay you for the day, and I'm out. So set up in such a way that think about if I were a photographer, I didn't have the studio space, what else would I not have? So what are the things that I can line up in such a way that when you come, there's that flow end to end. Do you understand? So I'm just not just saying come to our space to make photographs. Do you know if you make photographs here, you can also there's a service where you can use our system. So every year you do the yearly subscription, but the subscription is paid by those people that will come use it. It's like a co-working space, but in a creative space. That's why you see what they call it, co-working space are working. The other day I was asking Oluwa the Best whether they have a space where people can just shoot videos like this and go there and use their software to edit. There's not. Editing soon. But why should I have to buy a system where I can pay you a few thousand for a day and I use it when I'm done, I carry my hard drive and I'm out. Do you understand? So your mind has to think that way because there are photographers that their screens are not too good. So you can tell somebody you might make a great photograph, but your screen might not actually make the colors come out the way you want because you're not seeing the true colors. So that's the problem that we are solving. Those are the tiny things that will come and add to the big things that will now drive people. And you also know whether they come or not, you are using it. It's great for you, and it's also great for the team that you're trying to build, which brings me to the second point of how do you now build that team, right? One of the reasons people that try to build team don't win is because they don't actually write down how they do what they do. You know, creative people, we think, I just know it. No, we don't just know it. It's a lie we tell ourselves. Creativity can be structured. Okay, think about what makes your work your work. Let me use visual elements to describe your work. Large negative spaces. You play with scale. Minimalist. Shadows. Details. Those things are visual elements. It's not that when I see that, I know it. They have names. So your job is to take an audit of what you create and bring those names to the table. Right? So when you say we are doing, let's say, when we talk about documentary, narrative, and what's the word for it? And editorial, right? When you look at documentary form are just that. They have rules, which is you have to photograph the scene, establishing shot, which means if I see that photograph, I need to know where this thing took place. You need to photograph environmental portraits so that the person in the frame plus other things in the frame that add up to make sure that we know where this is. We need to photograph detail. We need to photograph what I can call conjunction images, which is what you do. So we photograph images that if they stand alone, they are not great images. But at the time we put it in the portfolio, it links this great image to this great image and makes that story work. That's what you do. It has a name. So then there's the last one that people always do, your signature look. Because there's a picture that is you're always going to create. No matter what, you have to create because that should be your signature look. When you look at Beige, his signature look is simple. It makes sure that everything in the frame, from composition to lighting to shadows, points to one thing. That's his signature look. So whether he's photographing a bride from the north or someone from, that's what he's setting up that shot to be. So that everything in the frame is leading your eyes to one thing. And we also know that our eyes goes to, when it comes to photograph, our eyes are being drawn to two things, color and light. That's his statutory. So when you find your own, you now say, okay, what is the thing that makes my style my style? And you write it down. If you write it down and teach people what you wrote down, there is no way they're not going to do it. And the best way I always tell people to do it is record it. Make a video like this. It's an explainer video, so you don't have to train people over and over and over and over again. I have an explainer video for my retouching. I have my explainer video for people that shoot for me when it comes to corporate events. I have explainer so that I don't have to do trainings every day. Once I hire you, the first thing I do to you is I send you that links that contains every single thing that we do and how we do it. Those are the things that we call the standard operating procedures, the SOPs, right? Where you are telling people, when I edit, I duplicate the layer. When I duplicate the layer, I turn the second layer to a smart object. When I finish turning the second layer to a smart object, do you understand? Step by step, you're recording it and you're saying it in the video. So when you hire a retoucher, all you need to do is to send the video to the retoucher to watch it. So don't retouch as you would love to retouch. Retouch as we retouch it. So that whether I am the one retouching or you're the one retouching, our work look the same. But you can't say word of mouth and expect it to look the same. Because, like you said, people see things differently. So I'm trying to make you see what I see. And the only way I can do that is for me to, first of all, write down what I see, how I see it, and then make a video about it. Do you understand? Because if you give someone a 24-70, there's somebody that once you give them a 24-70, you turn it to 50. To a 54 color length straight away. There's another person that you give to, it goes to 35. There's another person you give to, it goes to 24. Do you get? Another person will just stay at 70. But you give them a 24-70. So you might say, we shoot with a 24-70. Do you? So you need to tell someone, we shoot a 5.6 or we shoot 2.8. This is, for the detail shot, we shoot 2.8. For the environmental portraiture, we shoot this. For the conjunction images, we shoot. Do you understand? You have to explain, write down what you do. It's a hard work to do, but it will actually take away the stress that you're feeling. Because by that time, if someone fails to do something, you know the way the person fell from. Because when you see it, you know, okay, this person did not do this. Then you now ask the person, did you watch that video where I said you should do that? So you don't have to now explain it. Just the person, go back to that video and watch it. Streamline all of the things that you do. So when you say how you see is simply arranging and rearranging things in frame. Isn't it? That's what it is. And it can be taught. Yes, they might not see the way you see, but if you teach them and write it down and show them in a video, they will know what you see. And soon enough, they will photograph like you. If you look at the people that photograph for David Villa, he's not the only one making all of the photographs. One wedding will have like 1,000 photographs. He's not the only one, but the pictures look the same. It's because they have recorded that SOPs. I only photograph, my white balance is always at 4,900. But there are people that always photograph with 5,300. Once you bring that to my stuff, it will mess up the whole thing, how I do it. My colors will not be the same as my colors. So once you come in, you know, when we photograph, we do this. This is our white balance. This is our focal length. People that photograph for me, they know every image you make, you must make a landscape and a portrait vision. Because looking at you need to know that if they don't do that, there are some pictures that would have been good for center spread when you think about your editorial magazine. But because the person only photographed in a portrait mode, you can't use it. So you see, that's how I think, because the people that hire me use for billboards, use for newsletters, use for magazines. So I'm always photographing one way, the next way. Portrait, landscape. Every single time. That's what I always do. People can see how you see. You just have to sit back and write down in visual elements how you see. Because how you see is in the framing, is in the scale, is in the negative spaces. There are some people that only know how to do center framing. So every photograph they make, the person must actually be in the center of the frame. But if that's not how you do yours, you need to teach them, I play around with the rule of thirds. I put my person in the first third of this side or the other one, so that I have the negative space this way because I want to use this negative space to do this. How do I take reactionary shot? I don't, I anticipate it. Like, I photograph boxing. If you see the punch, you can never photograph it. It's gone. So your eyes should not see it. It is your shutter that should see it. So you anticipate moments that things will happen. Someone opens the door to look at the bride. As the door is opening, your mind should know that something might happen. And you just keep on photographing. In that moment, something might happen or something might not happen. But you never can tell until you come back and review the images. But you need to put them in a space that it is contact spots so that that innate ability to react fast start sharpening up. Because if you look at yourself, you didn't just start photographing and you could actually pick out moments. You did it over and over and over. And all of a sudden, it's now second nature. It feels like it's magic. So some people are like, how did you do that? But it's something that it's a muscle that you've actually trained over time. So your intuition is really sensitive. You've seen this thing happen before. You know what will happen next. Because look at, weddings are like repetition. And repetition is a visual element. Because you've seen it happen before, you know after this makeup artist drop this brush, this is the next brush she would pick up. After she drops this one, maybe this is the time she would do that, fleet, what do they call that shit?
Spray.
But you wouldn't know from the first time you did it, right? So you, as someone that has done it, you need to write all of those details down and break them down. And when you give to someone to watch, any question, so your job will not be to train them. That's not your job. The video, the explainers, is to train them. Your job is, after everybody has watched, you come back and we discuss it. So that way, you are not sitting down for 4 hours to talk about one thing over and over and over again. So you come back. Have you guys watched it? Yeah, you've watched it. Okay, let's sit back and review. What did you notice? You start explaining why this is important, that's why it's important, that's why it's important.